Hey everyone, welcome to another Wick animation tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to go ahead and tackle a walk cycle. This is going to be part one of I don't know how many, probably two, maybe three. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to come up here to the top middle and just go ahead and rename this project. And you can see all the important information here. Now I have an image that I'm giving to my students, but you can also find on the web if you're watching this there, made by legendary animator Richard Williams, showing how he mapped out his walk cycles. So I'm going to come over here to the asset library. I'm going to click on Upload Assets, and I'm going to go ahead and find my image. So it gets brought in, and I'm going to click on it here and click on Add to Canvas. I'll go ahead and I'll drag it in here. And there we go. For my students, I've resized the image so that way when you bring it in, it should fit just fine. Okay, I'm going to come down here and rename my layer. So click on Layer, and we'll just call this Ref for reference. There we go. Okay, so now we want to set up some reference lines for the top of the head on the contact pose, the ground line, and let's do another line here for the waist. And that'll let us give us some guidelines for when the head and the waist are moving up and down in the walk cycle. But before I set up those guidelines, I want to go ahead and lower the opacity of this reference image. So I'm just going to get it here a little bit more centered. There we go, something like that. And make sure you click on it to select it, and then come on over here where it says opacity, and I'm just going to go ahead and bring it down to about half. So 0.5. There we go. And there we are. Okay. I'm going to go ahead, you can see that my frame count up here is 13. So I'm going to go ahead and just stretch this out to 13 frames. All right, good. I'm going to go ahead and click down here to make a new layer. I'll put that layer on top of the reference layer. And this layer is going to be called Guidelines. All right, and I'll just go ahead and grab the line tool. And just something like that. Let's see. We can then select it, and let's see if we can actually change. I don't think we can actually change the thickness of it now. Actually, oops, here we go. It's vectors, right? So I've got the line selected, and over here, now it says weight. I'm going to go ahead and just bump that up so it's a little more visible. There we go. I think 2 to 4 is good. Yeah, there we go. That's a little nicer. Okay. So now I'm going to take that one there, and let's see, can I just duplicate it? I can. So on a Mac, you can press Command D. On a Windows or Chromebook device, you can just do Control D, and you can duplicate. You could also copy and paste, but it's one less click. Okay, and so there is my ground line. And again, I'm going to duplicate that one more time. Drag it up, and we're going to get it roughly right about there for the waistline. Something like that. Okay, good. And again, I'll drag this so that it lasts all 13 frames as well. Okay. I'm going to come down here now and make one more layer. This layer is going to be called my rough, for my rough animation pass. There we go. And of course that one goes on the very top. click and add a frame. Okay. So for the head and the waist, we can just go ahead and do circles, and yes, you can hand draw them, of course. You could also use the ellipse tool. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here. And remember, the letter X is how you pan. Sorry about the keys appearing down there. So this is my brush that I use for rough sketching. So I come up here to the fill color. I've got the brush tool. I choose this standard blue down here. That's a pretty good one for me. And then I come here to the spectrum color picker. This is where you get a more advanced color picker. And I change the opacity of the brush to about 50. Again, you can choose whatever you want. Then I come on over here, and I am using a tablet, a drawing tablet, so I do like to have the pressure enabled. And this is a pen of size 10. I think that will work. Yeah. For this size drawing, I think that'll work. Yep, looks good. In the past, with Wick, if you're using a brush that has less than 100% opacity, you get these really weird black marks just showing up. Wick was having trouble with the opacity. So hopefully they fix that, but if you do see that, that's what it is. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. My setup is pretty much complete. I'm going to come up here and click on Save. And of course that ruins my zoom. Okay, good. I think I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here at part 1. This is just the setup. In part 2, we'll go ahead and we'll do the 2 most important poses. Those are the contact poses. So I will see you in part 2. Thanks, everyone.